What's going on, guys? Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Victor, and I help people navigate their spiritual awakening process or their ascension process. And today's video is going to be a mid-month May energy forecast. And at the end of this forecast, I'm going to give you guys 3 different tips for dealing with the current energies we have on our hands at this point. So number 1, you might be feeling a little bit off kilter. You might feel almost like an energetic dissonance in your waking consciousness. You just feel a bit off. Your emotions might feel more potent and easily triggered by external influences that seem a little bit small compared to your emotional response you're getting. And this can cause the manifestation of getting into arguments or kind of compulsive and obsessive attempts to alleviate your emotions by changing your external world or by distracting yourself. You might find yourself a little more fidgety, going on your phone. You might be like really into your smartphone, checking Facebook every 5 seconds. stupid little compulsive behaviors as a means of escaping this feeling of having these emotions just sitting there with you. Because when we're going through this sort of energy where we're kind of like edgy and irritable, and our emotions are very potent and powerful and disturbing and negative and kind of dark, when we get triggered, they don't just come and go as these external influences do. No, we get triggered by a little something somebody says, and the emotion comes up, and then we just kind of have it with us. It's just kind of walking around with us. And if you're having multiple triggers in your day-to-day experiences, then you're having multiple dense emotion just kind of sitting with you, and you're already feeling off. You're already feeling kind of like off kilter. So it's kind of a really annoying and miserable state of being to be in. And you might find it challenging to kind of like be in the world, to be kind to the people who are cool with you, your loved ones, the people you work with. You might find that you're flipping out on them for no reason. Little stupid things are really getting under your skin. And it's not about that stupid little thing. It's about how you feel. But you have no control because you're so off kilter. There is that energetic dissonance and that sensitivity. And it's just like it's a time to just kind of say, okay, breathe, Victor, just chill, breathe. This is a good time to do whatever spiritual techniques that you are fond of. Maybe you're into yoga, painting, walking, meditation, whatever. Do those more. You have to be a little more proactive in aligning yourself and grounding yourself. Otherwise, you will perhaps have an outburst on someone who didn't really deserve it. You might make a mistake or do something stupid that you would later come to regret. And I would say the theme around this energy currently, from what I'm perceiving from myself and from other people, has to do with accepting other people's perspectives and acknowledging that you don't know everything. And there's a lot of people that might be bringing to the forefront things that you don't know how to answer, things you don't know, things that cause you to question yourself. Like, wow, you might feel a little bit of self-doubt, a little bit low and down on yourself. At the same time, if you don't allow yourself to feel those feelings, you might try to like shut people up and fire back, try to convince someone else that your point is right and their point is wrong. And because we're feeling these energies and we're all heightened and sensitive, like I've described, you might maybe not in your own life, you might see other people having like little blowouts, on Facebook or at the workplace or in the grocery store. Tensions might be running a little bit high. And again, people are going to be a lot less able to contain themselves. And simultaneously, everyone's opinions are kind of flaring up to the surface. And we're kind of seeing all the different perspectives that everyone has. And how does that all fit in? Is there really a truth? Is there someone who can be right and someone who can be wrong? In the moment, it can feel that way. It can feel like, well, God, I know I'm right, and this person's a fucking idiot, and I really need to shut them up and show them how stupid and wrong they are. But you realize if you engage in that sort of behavior, it's never ending. You never convince them of anything. They'll never convince you of anything. And you just end up wallowing in this like back and forth negativity for as long as you can handle until you just say, okay, I've had enough of this. And again, this sucks. No one likes to go through these ups and downs, but what it's going to do, it's going to allow people to sink more deeply out of sheer lack of option. People are just going to like withdraw into their heart space, and they're going to find, oh wow, when you're in your heart, you can accept other people. You don't need to change other people to align with your current state of being, with what you currently are into and believing and think about things. It's okay. Let everyone be on their own path, at their own rate, on their own journey, at their own timing. It's okay. And then the burden's gone. You don't feel the need to convince anybody of anything. You just get to accept it and love them and appreciate every little unique perspective, as different as it might be from your own. And that's how we are going to get along as a species. That's how humanity will not start wars and kill each other over nothing, or what we perceive to be something, a big reason for it. No, this right here is the primordial catalyst to this insane behavior that we've seen throughout human history. And we're dealing with it. We're seeing the folly in it. We're seeing the uselessness in engaging in this sort of I'm right, you're wrong sort of mentality. But you're going to feel tempted to be in that for a while. You might feel like, even though you know what I'm saying is true, you resonate with what I'm saying, it makes sense to you, you're even thinking it yourself, but yet at the same time you find yourself like, there's part of you that wants to just still despite all that, still want to like control things and control people, but you can't. And we'll realize that. We'll all give in to that sometime this week or this month or whatever. Secondly, you might be experiencing a lot of like unusual spiritual experiences. A lot of people, they start to awaken, they feel fatigued and a little bit off. Their life starts to arrange itself differently. You feel more sensitive. You kind of have a sense that something's going on. But now we're getting into the time, again, as I say in my other videos, that we're really starting to wake up now. We're really starting to move into the fourth density Earth now. And we're going to, as a result, experience our perceptions and consciousness is so broad and so wide that we now can perceive things that we once before could not perceive. For example, you might be sitting awake at night, perceiving energies, beings, colors, shapes, movement, feeling energies, feeling your guides, energies running through you. Because you're just so much more open and sensitive now, you can perceive these things that have always been there. You've just been closed off to them. But as you initially come into awareness of these different things, it can be startling, a little daunting, a little freaky. I want to say, well, just let go and don't be afraid, but you might be, but that's okay, because it's like any new experience. Initially, sometimes something unfamiliar, unusual, or a little bit that is a paradigm shift for us can cause us to lapse into a momentary feeling of fear. That's okay. I'm not going to say you're wrong if you feel that way. It's hard not to. I just had one of these experiences the other night that I haven't had in a while. I call it a light activation. It's just something I decided to call it. It's not a term you'll just go around and be universally recognized. But I was lying in my bed and I felt my kundalini, my spirit energy, just rushing through me as it used to all the time, but I haven't felt it in a while. And as it was rushing through me, it was kind of releasing all these pockets of like fear. And as these pockets of fear are released, I'm experiencing like visions and manifestations of them in my sight, in the way I feel, sounds. It's very colorful experience, very like real feeling experience. And this is kind of happening simultaneously. And at the same time, this energy is rushing through me. I'm feeling the sensation of fear, having these wild external manifestations of it, these unusual projections of my consciousness and my waking state. And I was thinking, like, man, you better put your money where your mouth is, buddy. You're making these videos now. You better just fucking let go and man up here. And I did. I was able to. But it was like, okay, you're fine. You're gonna be fine. What the fuck? Kind of like one of those experiences. I know a lot of you guys might be having those. I've had so many of them that it wasn't that big of a deal for me, but the first time those things would happen to me, it was very scary, very freaky. It's very hard to not lapse into fear. And as you start to like add fear to the already present fear energy that's being released, that's when it starts to become, whoa, really, it starts to make it even worse. And it kind of like grows and exponentially expands this fear energy, and the manifestations become more grounded and real. So you might have like where you feel like you're being picked on by like fourth dimensional entities and whatnot. But this is all just part of your awakening. It's part of the process. It's what's happening. You want to awaken. Well, you're awakening to all this stuff that's been inside of you unbeknownst to you. So you got to see that. You can't just awaken and lapse into the like love and light without going through your own darkness. We're going through our darkness into the light, not around it, not leaping over it, through it. And it's scary, messy, wild, and weird all at once. Just like any feelings and sensations and states of being brought up by the current energies, as they initially come on, we're frazzled, we're off kilter, it's a little bit weird, a little bit overwhelming, and then they always settle down. It's not that the energies settle down. The energies are coming in, and we're like reacting to them, and they don't just go away, and that's why we feel better. No, we get used to them. They can run, they remove all the blockages as they come in, and then we learn to exist in them, within the energies. And that's what's happening now. That's what's happening with your weird and wild experiences. Initially, they might not go away, but what's going to happen is you're going to accept them. You're going to like them. It's cool. It's awesome, because once you get through all this darkness that you're seeing, that you're perceiving in these like other dimensions and in your etheric and ephemeral like reality that you now can perceive, once you get through all your crap, then you'll get to perceive angels, your guides, fairies, little cool aliens, whatever. You're going to experience the beauty and like the higher octaves of this fourth density reality that you're now starting to be able to like pop into and perceive. You're going to see the beauty, the love, all the amazing things that are just on the other side of your fears. But we're in the contraction period. We're in we're about to pop out. We're like a baby, and we're about to pop out of the womb, and we're going through that struggle. It's like a butterfly busting out of its cocoon. Eventually, the light that shines through is probably so bright and so like, oh my God, disorienting. But eventually, it flaps its wings, and again, the sun is bright and it's really wild, and it's like, wow, this is so weird. What the hell am I? This is so uncomfortable and strange. But eventually, it's like, damn, I'm flying. Oh my goodness. I was once in this little cavern, and now I'm flying. Now I see light, colors, beauty, nature. But you got to allow yourself to go through this transitional period. That's all it is. Now I'm going to go ahead and give you guys 3 quick tips to kind of help you navigate these stormy energies, okay? The first one is to exercise. Whatever type of exercise that you feel drawn to, that you don't mind doing, do that. Do that not to like get in shape so much, even though that's a nice benefit, but to bring you into your body and out of your head. It's kind of a heady, wild, cerebral, 6 chakra dominant experience right now, where we're having these spiritual phenomena, these weird energies we're perceiving, the heightened reactions and emotions coming up, being triggered by people. We're in our head a lot, trying to distract ourselves from all these weird, this disorienting energy. And exercise will help you a lot just by grounding you, bringing you back down into your body, less in your head, and you will just feel a lot better. You'll be able to function in your life a lot more smoothly and gracefully. 2 is self-honesty, because a lot of times we become, as we get triggered, anytime you get triggered or anytime someone says something that really bothers you, that gets under your skin, that pisses you off, that causes an emotional response that is uncomfortable to feel, that has nothing to do with what they said. It's something that you're harboring within yourself. And even if you're able to psychologically dominate this person and make them feel like an idiot for even verbalizing what they just said, that doesn't mean that then you missed the point. You're going to get triggered in the exact same way some other time down the line, and you just missed your growth opportunity. So when you get triggered, when you're experiencing these heightened emotions, be honest. Say, why are they really there? Why do I feel this way? Why do I react this way? And be willing to say, wow, it's because I'm afraid, or wow, it's because I really am not as awesome as I thought it was, or whatever it is. Or really it's because fill in the blank. You got to be able to look at yourself. It's going to humble you. Allow it to humble you. Because in humility, then there's like the letting go of the need to, again, have your truth become everyone's truth. That's a heavy load and burden to carry around. It's just fucking impossible, basically, with 7 billion people on this planet, from all walks of life, from all religions, from all perspectives. You got a lot of work on your hand if you're gonna change everybody that comes in your way, that doesn't see things the way you do. So learn the lesson with self-honesty, and then that'll teach you humility and compassion and love, and you can let go and just be yourself, regardless of what other people are doing or saying. And number 3, and this is so crucial, this is something I really see lacking in the light worker and the spiritual community, is take imperfect action. You might feel, because you're off kilter, because you're not feeling grounded, you're not aligned, you're emotional, that whatever goals you have, whatever things you want to accomplish in life, it's not the right time. The timing's not right. You don't want to do it right now. You want to wait for this to settle down and to blow over. No. It's not going to blow over for a while. You're going to constantly be feeling this. You're awakening, and we're at like the climax of it right now. You're going to feel way wacky and out there. And if you're always waiting for your like state of serenity to take action, you're going to be waiting a long time. And you're going to sit there wondering why you don't have any money, why you don't have your soulmate, why you don't have the house you want to live in, why you're living in the state you don't want to live in, why you're not driving the car you want to drive, why you're unhappy, why you feel like shit, why you're weak and like frail and like unhealthy. Don't wait. Take imperfect action. I'm feeling all these energies. That's why I can talk about them. And people go, wow, how do you know? It's because I feel them. I'm not sitting on the mountaintop just looking around. No, I'm in this too. I'm in this just like you guys. No better, no worse, just the same. But I make the videos anyway. I do my dance. I do my thing. I keep going forth no matter what. I don't allow how I feel to dictate what I want to do. Because your feelings right now are a big mishmash of your pure, joyful feelings and your guidance and your love, and you're also, all your chaos is swirling around and coming up too. And the combination, even with this loving energy that might be present in certain moments, it's not a very clear state of being at all times. But you just got to go forth anyway, man. Otherwise, you're not going to get where you want to go. You're not going to have the life you want to live. This is not easy. This is a hard thing to do. Very much easier said than done. We've been trained to allow external resistance and emotions to control our behavior our whole lives. Humanity has. And that's why we're so fucked up and out there and wacky and can rationalize such crazy behavior. It's time to stop doing that. It's time for you to step into your power and know and learn how to access your deep inner knowing and then go forth from there. Regardless of what's coming up, what he said, she said, what you had, what the dream you had last night, doesn't matter. You have a plan. Write your plans down and get them done. Get shit done. GSD. You'll be very happy that you did. Because slowly, this action will accumulate and you will have the life of your dreams. That's how you get it. That's how we get the life of our dreams. That's how we become enlightened and ascended and all these wonderful things that we want. It's not about sitting and waiting for the energies to bring them to us. No, it's about going and getting them regardless of what the energies do. That's the mentality you have to have. You have to be very, very strong and very tough. All the masters throughout history, they were met with extreme resistance. And everyone hated them and didn't like them and tried to set them off their path. But they were so firm in their conviction that they just went forth anyway. And they might have gone through 10, 20, 30 years of madness and chaos. But you know what? Now we see them as masters. Now we look at them for what they've done. But it wasn't easy. The energies didn't just kind of catapult them into this where their brilliance becomes very well known. No, they had to just do exactly what I said. They took imperfect action. They did the best they could, and any given moment, and slowly but surely, they look around and they're masters. All this is happening to empower you. You have the power. We all have the power. We've just been conditioned and trained to learn not to acknowledge it, to ignore it, and now most of us don't even know it's there. But it is there. And we're being guided and pushed by our life and by this awakening to reclaim our power. That's how the world is going to change, when more and more people reclaim their power and start living the life they want on their own terms.